All right, everyone. I would like to formally welcome you to our third Entrepreneur Bootcamp webinar. As I said in the beginning, this is but one of many that we are holding until November. And it seems like on a weekly basis. And so if we are, getting to become acquainted with your lovely self this evening, we'd like to see you come back and check in again. My name is Lioness. I am an associate attorney over at the Collins Law Group, but more importantly, I am a board member of this illustrious chamber that is holding tonight's virtual bootcamp webinar. So a few things first, a little about the chamber. Is this Lois? Are you going to talk about the chamber? Okay, I have the absolute honor of presenting our First Lady, President Lois Claver.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Lioness. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining on our third Entrepreneur Bootcamp. We are very, very excited. This is something that we've been wanting to give to our community and share resources. And one thing, that we found out during the pandemic is all of us have entrepreneurial capabilities, and it's stronger than ever. Okay, so I'd like to introduce the chamber for those first-time attendees, and we'd like to show that on the next slide. Oh, and by the way, these workshops is made possible in partnership with National ACE. And the mission of ACE is advancing Asian American and Pacific Islander business owners, one voice for the Asian American Pacific Islander business community, building capacity, fostering economic development or advocacy, partnerships, and programs.
Lois, you just have to talk about the chamber without the slides.
Okay, can I share screen?
Yes, definitely.
Give me. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. My slide disappeared. So the chamber has been around since 2001. The mission of the chamber is really to provide these resources to you guys for business development. And we have around like 125 to 150 members and about 21 partnerships. The goal is for us to create visibility to you guys. And okay, I guess you can start sharing again, Fiji. It's just that one slide that's missing. Okay, so the National ACE, this became popular in 2020, starting the pandemic because of the AAPI hate. And then there is, the movement for AAPI Strong. Really, the focus is to combat the nationwide rise in AAPI bias, harassment, and violence in our business community. And National ACE is facilitating the sensitive training series, the small business data share program, and the ACE conference and roundtable discussions with policymakers, business owners, and alliance partners. So our chamber is a partner of National ACE. And we have these coming up in terms of our boot camp. This is the 14-week session. So this is the third session. And for you to get a certificate, you need to complete 9 out of this 14. And then we can have some makeup sessions if needed, but we have to commit to this so that we can show National ACE. We have some dedicated community members who would like to learn more and continue to give us resources. Next, please. Okay, I'd like to thank our event sponsors, Tycoon Land. Stay towards the end of this presentation because we're going to have a free landing page. And of course, we'd like to thank Pacific Asian Consortium in Employment for providing us the speaker tonight. PACE is also an MOU partner of our chamber. Thank you to our logo sponsor, our amazing MC tonight, Collins Law Group. Thank you, Linus Ebe. Okay, now back to you, Fiji, for our speaker introduction.
Thank you, Lois. So let's not have our attendees waiting. I think our speaker is also very ready. Our speaker for today is Swann Do. She's a part of, as Lois mentioned, PACE. And PACE is at the forefront serving entrepreneurs in the county of Los Angeles for over 16 years. So they have been doing this for a long time. Since 2010, Swann has overseen the administration of the SBA Women's Business Center, funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration Office of Women's Business Ownership. The Women's Business Center provides all prospective entrepreneurs and existing business owners educational tools necessary for business success. PACE WBC is a one-stop shop for your business needs. Her role is to oversee the operations of the WBC program to best support the success of women entrepreneurs and women business owners. PACE WBC focuses on supporting underserved populations, such as women, minorities, and low-income individuals. PACE WBC has been recognized by the SBA for the following awards. They were awarded as the Women in Business Champion of the Year Award, also awarded as the SBA National Small Business Week Award Women's Business Center Excellence, and also awarded as the Regional Women's Business Center of Excellence, the Small Business Award Meeting Challenges and Achieving Success. So without further ado, please help me welcome our speaker for tonight from PACE, Ms. Swann Do.
Thank you, Attorney Leon Leinen. I pronounced it wrong. And thank you, Fiji, for wonderful introductions, and all the members of the Filipino American Chambers of Commerce for your invite to share my expertise with the group today. I hope today you take some walk away with you, and I am eager for you to ask questions, as many questions as you have, or should I say, time does permit, and hoping that you reach out and allow me to assist you with your small business startup. So I'm going to share my screen. And let me see. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, you're good, Swann.
Perfect. Thank you so very much. So I'm going to jump right in. Fiji did a wonderful introductions, and she's correct. I serve. For our program, we are a non-federal, we're a federal funded program serving throughout the Los Angeles County, focusing on the Los Angeles and also the San Gabriel Valley area. So I'm going to skip that, but I'm going to jump into PACE. PACE itself. Before I'm going to start the presentation, I want you to know that we serve more than small business startup. We have early childhood education, we have energy and environment services, housing assistance, workforce development. All these are within the PACE development centers. Should I say PACE as a whole, as Pacific Asian Consortium in Employment. Now, a lot of questions was asked. Now, I'm not Asian or I'm not a female, can I still join? Absolutely. As long as you have a business, startup, want to start up already in business that need help, we're here to help you. Okay. So I don't want you to feel uncomfortable because you're not a woman and you won't be able to get assistance from us. PACE as a whole is a community development organized that an annual serve approximately 50,000 low-income residents of the Los Angeles area by creating economic solutions to meet the challenges of employment, education, housing, environment, and business development. And we are in the business development department. Okay. Oh, going back a little bit. So service that we provide, I'm gonna go share that with you a little more detail, but training, technical assistance, access to capital for startup, small business owners. Also, for those of you already in business for multiple years and you want to have interest in doing business with government, We'll also have a department that assists you with procurement services, obtaining minority certifications and register you in the bid portals and all that, okay? So stay tuned. So I just quickly go through this very quickly because we don't have enough time to cover my information. So at the workforce centers, these are the services that they have available for anyone who need help to either look for a job, which I know you are not interested in looking for a job, but imagine the tables reversed. You are seeking employees to assist you with your business. And we also could help you with that too. There's program that actually could help you save 8 months of your salary to pay the staff, a new staff. But assuming you're going to train them and mold them the way you want them to work for you. Okay. So I'm just going to fast forward all of this. So I'm going to go back to the business development centers and the women's business centers. So the Business Development Center established in 1983, the Women's Business Center established in 2004. I joined 2006. So I have been doing this for quite some time. So I want you to know that we're here to help you. And whatever information that you want to share is not like it's too early stage, but I want you to feel comfortable talking to a women's business centers or a business centers, okay? So these are our services. We do training, we do counseling one-on-one, we do contract support, we do lending, and then of course, SBA loan packaging. So within the training, we have all kinds of workshops, including credit building, if you need your credit to build, so that you're ready when you are seeking to get an SBA loan, okay? Credit counseling from startup, operating, expansion, procurement, minority certifications, even with building your capability statement, we should be able to help you with that. Okay. Let's jump right to writing a business plan. Write an effective business plan. So the quote is, she who knows how to count her own money get to keep it. So a lot of the clients that I work with, they want to always hire someone to help with their accounting. But keep in mind that if you don't know what you brings in, you don't know what you have and when you're going to break even, all that, okay? But we're not going to go into very detail for that. But just in general, why do you have to have a business plan? And I'm going to cover top 10 reasons business fail. I'm just going to hop right into it. Okay. Ooh, top 10. Business owner doesn't have the right skills level or talent pool to run the business operation. Entrepreneurs take customers for granted. Never do that. Underestimate the competitors. Always figure out who are your competitor within the radius that you or your business located at. Find out who your competitors are, what they sell, what they not sales. How are you going to be better? How can you be different so that you could win your competitors' customers, maybe even, right? Not knowledgeable of the industry, shift in the market, or in tune with the customer concerns, needs, old school and not adaptive to changes. So we are in the business of changing. True. If we're not up to date, you're out of date. When you're out of date, no one's want to use your services or buy your product. So keep that in mind. Underpriced product and service and hope to recoup profit point by indulging in volume and sales. This is going to be very difficult if you decide to do that. How many of you, if you'd like to raise your hand, know the market, the food called Alpha Beta Market? How many of you know that supermarket? I'm gonna start giving out my age. So that particular market, they give out double coupons. So if you're going in there, you have a coupon of 50 cents, double it, then they give you $1. Now, from the consumer perspective, you only get an extra 50 cents off, yeah? But as a volume, all the customer coming into the market, is start eating the owners with the business in terms of bringing in profit. Does it make sense? So try not to do that. We figure a way out and outsmart our customers and have them coming and use our services without lowering our price. I'm gonna sure do not understand or have a development business infrastructures. So the business plan infrastructure is what? The business plan, general operating or management, business development, marketing, the cash flow management. You have to have the whole cruise behind. I'm not saying that you should have that right away in front before you even start your business. This is something you have to build upon when your business started and when you start generating income. Business owners is not aware of his or her current gross profit margin related to overall profitable of the business. Now, this is something I could share with you, by the way. For those of you, I want to share my email at the end. If you want to get a cash flow spreadsheet and keep track of what you're bringing in as a cash flow, your expenses, and at the end, what are your margin? What is your profit? I have that to share with you. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel all over again. Okay. I got all of that for y'all. You'll be taken care of, trust me. Okay. The business owner does not have the established break-even analysis system to help him or her stay above minimum productivity. So understand that there's a break-even formula that you need to know. And you want to know, as a retailer, you want to know how many products or how many numbers of products you sold in the period of how many months or years for you to break even. And then when are you going to start making profit? And that's something that you need to figure out. You cannot just assume that one of this day I'm going to start making profit. You want to know when you're going to make profit, right? So once you start making profit, then you're going to start figuring out, okay, I'm getting to the point that I'm very busy. I need to start hiring employees to help me, right? Not willing to bring in a professional or industry expert to help them analyze and develop their business to make a business ready. So this is something that we are here to help you. The Filipino American Chambers of Commerce here to help you. The business source centers are here to help you. The Women's Business Center are here to help you. Find out what you need. Figure out your weaknesses and your strength, and know what are your weaknesses and learn from it. And then once you learn from it, then you could figure out, okay, I know now how to do X, Y, and Z. Now I can have someone doing it, and I'm just going to follow up and review it as I need to review. But if you don't know the information, if you know your weaknesses, but you don't actually learn about it, you can't go about and reviewing, let's say, your accountant, right? They could screw you over, right? So you need to understand how to read, especially what you bring in your balance sheet. Understand? Does it make sense to you? Okay. Business owners does not have a written business plan with built-in strategies to help identify important business opportunity and zero in a potential problem before they escalate out of control. So you either nip in the butt, figuring out what are the needs are, and once you have a business plan, you can follow through. I always tell my client the business plan is equivalent to a blueprint. Make sense? So if I were to build a home, if I don't have a blueprint, the person who built the home will not know what I want, correct? For the women, you got to plan for your weddings. Yes? So if you don't have a wedding planner, do you think that the wedding night is going to go as smoothly as if you have a wedding planner to plan it for you? Or maybe you plan it yourself. I plan my wedding a year in advance. That's excessive, but that's what works for me. So I need for you to plan your business way in advance before you hop right in and just tackle it. So the more you plan, the less the risk you have for failures. Make sense? Okay, so here it is. This is the statistic showing that 8 out of 10 new business fail within the first 3 years. And this is a source coming from the SBA without having a business plan. Another study done by the Inc. magazine and the National Business Incubator Association revealed that 80% of new business fail within the first 5 years. And I've seen that. And I've seen it with my own eyes, even within my own relative. And I tell them, come help, let me help you. And this person would say, no, I'm good. I don't have time. I'll be starting my business in 3 months, let's say. But guess what? Within the year, the business closed. And you're gonna lose a lot of money if you're not careful, especially if you own a restaurant. I'm here to tell you that, and I've seen it with my own eyes, okay? Why do people start business? So you want to start business, number one, I want to be my own boss. Yes, absolutely. You want to be your own boss, but also you want to make sure that you have these guidelines to follow you, okay? To build a business for themselves versus someone else, to pursue the passion that they have always want to be realistic or realize, right? To be their own boss and master their own time, to earn money doing what they really like to do, to capitalize on investment, to replace income from the loss of a job, and to create a positive net worth long. Okay, I'm gonna break this down for you very easily. I know here, there's a little heart say, follow your heart. That's great, as long as you determine the business makes money. Make sure that this business make profit, not like a hobby. A hobby does not actually bring in money for you. So after a certain time, you have to cut off that feeding tube. You say, okay, this baby is not going to make money for me. I'm going to figure out what makes me money. Okay. Now, for people who knows in advance, they would do some testing. I will show you how to do that when we're doing a one-on-one counseling sessions. If you wish for me to help you, then we'll figure out, okay, does this business make money, not the first 3 months, not the first 6 months, but after so many years that you're trying to put money into the business, trying to invest this business and hoping that it'll grow. And at a certain point, you have to realize that this business is not growing because it's not a business, it's a hobby. So that's the thing that you have to realize, okay? I work with clients, with people who say, I'm sick and tired of making money for my boss. I want to make my own money. And yes, that's possible. And I help client went through that. We come in, they took the skills that they learned from the Filipino American Chambers of Commerce. They took the skill they learned from anywhere that they learned, and they turn it into their own business. And I'm here to help you to also get your license and permit. Don't worry about that. It's very easy. Okay, business plan. Business owners want to know how to develop strategic business plan to get them to the next level. How can I make a lot of money with these ventures? And will I get enough customers? This all go into your business plan. Okay. So before you can develop an effective business plan, you must first have a vision on how you want your business to look, where you want to see in the marketplace, and what will your missions be for your business. And I'm here to help you with your vision statement and with your vision statement. But due to today's limited time, I'm not going to touch on the visions or the visions mission statement. Okay, so I'm going to move forward and skip over. So let's talk about types of risks that are relevant to your business. The markets, the economy, the management team, regulatory economies, all that. You want to propose ways to minimize risk, as I said before. Even when you are asking to get a business loan, they want to see a business plan, and they want to see how you minimize risk when you start your business so that you can pay back the loan, which we're going to cover that in sometime other sessions later, right? Define the list until you realize you really understand the core risks of all. Now, how many of you, if you'd like to raise your hand, I'm not sure I can see everyone on my screen, but raise your hand and tell me how many of you have partners, business partners? I'll rely on Fiji's to tell me that. Okay, I think Fiji, you're muted. You say that you have a business partner? Okay, so if you have a business partner, you want to understand their strength and their weaknesses. And by picking the business partner that have your weaknesses and their strength, that will be a perfect business partner that you're going to go into. Does it make sense? Common business plan mistake: saying that the company has no competitions or underestimating the strength of the competitors. So this is something that I want you to do. For the first one, I need for you to do homework. Nowadays, you don't have to go to your competitor's location. You can actually go online and figure out who are your competitors, what their strengths, what are the weaknesses, and how can you build on that. Okay. No clear business model, disorganized and internally contradictory the plan. Fail to access durable and sustainable, being too close to the product, assuming that the customer benefits are self-evident. So being too close to the product, it could be a problem because your emotions get involved. Failing to assess durable and sustainable. I've seen that some of the clients that I work with, well, I don't want to get into it right now, so I'm going to move forward. Here are some of the topics that you want to understand thoroughly when you're writing a business plan. Now, also, I want to share with you, anyone who registered today and joined me for this sessions, if you want me to send you, I'm not sure if Fiji, you already have a business plan template to share with them. If you do, then I don't want to send that over, but if you don't and anyone needs it, I'll be more than happy to share.
Yeah, you can send it, Swann.
Okay. All right. So for your business plan, you should have your vision statement, your mission statement, your personal budget, your personal and your business goal, setting your goal, your own goal, understand your SWOT analysis, your target market, your management, your concept and reality, goal, objective, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is part of your business plan. When you're running a business, it should have all these included. So building a business plan is building arguments about your futures. Arguing needs to be clear, concise, and supportive. And you want to show how you plan to get from point A to point B, where you want to be within a year, within 2 years. Again, be resourceful, find example plans to use as a guide. Don't start everything from scratch. If there's no business plan that you see liking, you can always go to the SBA website and look for business plan template there for your specific industry. Be realistic about what your goals, who and how many you're going to commit. Example, let me give you an example. One of my clients is a hairstylist, and she say, I'm going to cut 50 hairs a day. That's not being realistic, right? So don't set yourselves to fail, but set yourself with goal and tactics to be successful. Spell out your strength, as I mentioned before, and your weaknesses, and how you plan to handle all these weaknesses that you have. Okay. Frequently update your business plan to accommodate the change that you have. I tell everybody all the time, your business plan, you always have changes and update. So update them, but don't write them and just toss them aside years later, and the changes that you make in your head, but not on the plan itself. So I want to jump right into license and permits. Fiji, do you know, can you see how many people in shows of hand have their business license and permits already?
Let me see. I see one. Some of them are not raising hands. I would say in this group, probably around 5 to 7 have licenses and permits already.
Okay, so I'm going to cover in generals. I'm going to start with the business license. So if you are in the city of Los Angeles, you live here and you also have a business here in the city of Los Angeles, or planning to have a business here in the city of Los Angeles, then you should get the business license here in the city of Los Angeles. Business license in Los Angeles is completely free. It is annually, you have to renew. It is calendar year. That means if you get the business license today, August 23rd, your business license expires December 31st. Okay, you have until the end of February to renew your business plan. No, the business license. I'm still, my head is on business plan. You have until the end of December to renew your business license. If you don't renew your business license as of March 1st, they will charge you the city tax fee for a business license in terms of how much it brings in. Now, if you avoid to communicate with them, they would get an average of that particular industry you're in, how much they earn, and they're going to charge you tax based on that. Now, moving, should I say, escalating from that, if you don't pay, okay, and I have client not purposely not to pay, but they move and they didn't pay, your account was sent to collection agency, and they are the third party. They're not associated with the city, the finance department, and they charge you. They will earn the fee based on how much they charge you. So it could be 3 times as much. It could be 6 times as much. I don't know how much they charge, but they charge a ridiculous price. The reason I know is when I'm trying to call in for one of my clients, try and negotiate with them and pay a lesser price, they won't budge. Okay, so if you don't do business in, let's say, Los Angeles already, once you move, need to close it. Once you close it, then you open the business license based on the city that you're doing the business in. So city by city, the business license is different in terms of fee. Some of them charge you a right upfront fee. Some of them charge you 1 year, some of them charge you all 3 years at one time. So depending on where you're at, I can help you with that. Now, if you say I'm doing business at home, can I get a business license? Can I not get a business license from home? Would you been doing business from home? The answer is no. You still need to get a business license if you're working at home, especially when you do online sales. Okay. It's also dependent on city by city. If you choose to do business from home, other cities have a different permit or business license that you have to fill out for home. So just keep in mind for that. Now, let me give you another example. If I have a salon and I also sell product, you have to get a permit for professional services, and you also need to get a permit for retail because you're selling product. Make sense? What else? My recommendations for you is to get your DBA first before you apply for a business license, for the sole purpose, because if you apply for a business license and you don't have a DBA, they automatically put under your name first. And then once you get a DBA, you have to call in and you need to update that. So it's best for you to get a DBA first and then use the DBA to also include it on your business license when you apply for it. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions so far?
I think we have a question on the chat, Swann. I don't want it to be buried in the chat. Roy has a question very quickly. He's asking about the PPP and the EIDL loans actually from the SBA during the pandemic. Some of them have availed this, and he's asking if they can still apply for an additional business loan if they already have that.
The PPP loan has been passed a long time ago.
Okay.
They don't have that available anymore.
But like, if it's not like it's like a different kind of loan, they can still apply for it?
If they're interested in doing an SBA loan with us, I could assist with that. But any related questions on what we talk about today?
Okay. Let me see. I think we can move forward.
Okay, seller's permit. So a seller's permit, you need to obtain if you are selling goods. Example, if you are selling tangible goods, you should get a seller's permit for the reason because you want to get your product as wholesale. and without having to pay taxes for it upfront. But you still need to collect taxes at the end when you're selling it to the end users. Okay. Seller's permit is also free. You could go to the cdtfa.gov, which I shared the link down here for you, to obtain your seller's permit. Do not go to a third party to have them assist you with obtaining a seller's permit. They're going to charge you a fee for that. And make sure that when you go into the website, make sure that it's .gov, not .com. Okay, so that's the trick. Sometimes they just tricks you to go into their website and they just help you fill out the information and you charge them a fee for that. And this one we could also help you get at our center too as well. So then fictitious business name, let's jump into that. What is fictitious business name? It is the name of your company. If you file a DBA name that has nothing to do with your first and your last name, you have to file for a DBA. How the DBA works is that it's every 5 years renewal. When you file for a DBA, you have 30 days to publish it. If you don't publish it in 30 days, it goes away and you have to start all over again. The fee for the DBA, if you like to write this down, total is $101. I'm going to break it down for you. $26 for the application fee, $40 for the publication, $20 for the processing fee, and $15 for the notary fee. And we also have notary persons in our office to help you get the DBA application notarized before we take it in for you. I helped client in the past to file for the DBA, and they said, no, I filed it already. Everything's taken care of. So when I looked it up for them, they didn't publish it. So when they didn't publish it, they lose it after 30 days. Now I have clients, I'm not trying to scare you, but I also have clients who have someone approach them and ask them, hey, can I publish a DBA for you? They fill out the form, it looks legit, they collect the money, they walk with the money. They never get published. So what happened after that? Everything is just start over again. And on top of that, you pay this person and you give out your personal information to this person who didn't do anything for you. Okay, so be very careful who you trust. We do take in your DBA for you. I fill it out for you once we meet on the one-on-one base, and also submit it for you. Submit it to the ticket in, that is, to get you published for you. But also send you a copy just in case you have one. And then once they publish it, they'll send you some confirmation on the newspaper. They publish it 4 weeks. And then once you have that, then you take that and open a business account. Okay. Any questions?
There's a question, Swann, from Celeste here. She's asking if PACE conduct market research on different industry that a business owner can access, and if not, where can they go to access market research?
Market research, you could actually go to the library, the public library, the one that's here, Figueroa. They have a business department, and they purchased this gigantic expensive tool, software, should I say, and whatever research you're looking for, you just reach out to them and ask them, this is the information that I need, and they should be able to do the research for you.
Oh, wow, good. I actually didn't know that. That's good. That's good information.
Yeah.
Even Celeste was saying, wow, I didn't know that the library has a business section. That's
They
great.
do have
Thanks,
that,
Swann.
yes.
And then I think Kat Oshman, I'm not sure if this is a question or comment. She said that she had DBAs that were not published, but they're still living in the system and it didn't get wiped out.
I need to look at it in terms of when was filed,
Okay.
and then I could tell you if it's still if I could still help you publish it. But after, I had to look at the form for you. And then once I look at the form, then I could tell you, okay, this is still active or not active. Even when it's not active, let's say your DBA file 5 years passed, and if you file correctly, it stays in the system at all time. It does not mean that it's still active. It's just saying that you filed this DBA name prior. And after the 5 years, if you don't renew it, you have to start the whole thing all over again, including publication. But if you were to renew the DBA before the 5th year's end, then you only pay for the renewal fee. Does that make sense? Oh, something else that triggered me to share with you. Some of the clients that I work with ask for 2, 3, 4, 5 DBA names for other businesses. Now, if you are using the same address to run those other 5 businesses, which I would recommend to start in one time, then you could file for the DBA, and each additional DBA name that you file is only going to cost you $7 extra. Okay, but if you don't file it together, the first time they say, I hope you file for your DBA, and later on you say, you know what, Swann, I want to go ahead and file for the other 2 DBA, but guess what? The other 2 DBA is going to cost you 108, which is 101 plus 7, right? So might as well, if you want to do it, file it all together. I had a client, the longest numbers of DBA I filed for this client was like over 10. I don't know why, but that's what they want. So I just help you file it. Also, service I provide here is, let's say you have a DBA name, you're not sure that is appropriate. I could also meet with you on that. So let me share with you on the 5 rules of thumbs on picking the DBA name. Okay, you ready? Write this down. Short, simple, to the point, relevant, and is it easy to remember? So if you can answer these 5 questions, you have a good DBA. Okay, so when I work with my client in terms of the building a mission statement, when I read the mission statement, if I get goosebumps, that's a good mission statement. If I read the mission statement and I could just pass. Same with all your target audience. They will not feel like, oh, this is impressive, right? So I could work with you on that too as well, by the way. Let's talk about the EIN.
I have one last question, Swann.
Yes.
Is it a different business license for each DBA? Kat is asking. Is it a different business license for each DBA?
Yes and no. So if you were to apply, let's say you have 2 businesses, right? And you're applying for the business license, you want to identify types of business that you're doing so they could give you the right code for your business license. But you don't have to apply for 5 times. But my recommendation for my client is that if you're starting with a first business and you're not ready for the second business, don't apply for both of them at the same time, because that's not going to do you any good. Even though the business license for the city of Los Angeles, if you make less than $100,000, they would not tax you. Only when you're making over $100,000, that's when they tax you. Make sense? So when anyone who make 100,000 and over, this is when I suggest, if they want to change to a corporation, an LLC, C Corp, S Corp, then they could do so. But if they are not at the $100,000 mark, then 3 questions you want to ask yourself. Right? Number 1, is your business high risk? Number 2, it falls into, are you making 100,000 and over in terms of your gross income? And number 3, you ask yourself, what is the benefits of changing from a sole proprietorship or partnership to a corporation? Because keep in mind, a lot of people doesn't know about this. When you change to a corporation, you have to pay the $800 annual franchise tax fee that not many people knows about. And after the 4 years, and you don't pay, they will freeze your account. And keep in mind, this is the federal level. You will never wait. You can't never wait until 7 years later and automatically go after your report. It doesn't work that way because this is federal money. And if you owe federal, it stays owed until you pay off or scheduled to pay off. Okay. Questions?
All good on the questions one. You can move forward.
Okay. Let's talk about the EIN. EIN stands for Employment Identification Number. It is like your social security number, but this EIN number is for your business. I would not advise anyone who's starting a business using your own social security number, even though you could as a sole proprietor. Okay. The reason because I've seen people lost or their social security number has been stolen, and everything is like a nightmare. You're chasing after a ghost that never exists. And your business, your social security number is spread like wildfire, and you can't really stop them. Okay. So my recommendation, the EIN is free. I'll help you get it. Takes about 5 minutes to 10 minutes to get it. And you could have the EIN even as a sole proprietor. And until you start hiring an employee, then you could actually use the EIN. You don't need to get a new one. And you could use that to not hire a new employee, but for the purpose of hiring a new employee, they want to have an EIN for the record, but not your social security number. Okay. If you are a business partner, you have to get is a requirement that you have to have an EIN. But as a sole proprietorship, it's an option. But when you are in a corporation, an LLC, C Corp, and S Corp, then it's a different set of EIN you have to get. If for any reason, when you make over the $100,000 mark, you have, and you want to change to a sole proprietorship or partnership to an LLC or a C Corp or an S Corp, then you want to get a new set of EIN number so that you could close the old EIN number under your name. So when you are starting a sole proprietorship, your EIN number is under your first and your last name, not your DBA. Keep in mind. And when you decided to start the second business, and the second business also a sole proprietorship, you just need to call in and tell them, you know, I'm starting a new business, and they just need to update your file, but you're still using the same EIN number for both businesses. Does that make sense? Questions?
No questions one.
Okay, so
Wait, I have a question.
yes.
This is Tony. If a person, so I know some people who, in order to get a small business or EIN number, you said don't use Social Security. Can a person who is not a resident or a non-citizen do a business?
You get an ITIN number. So
Okay.
they'll be more than happy to get your ITIN number. Why? Because they want to collect your taxes, whatever you make, right? But if you don't have a Social Security number, you have to go. We don't do that in our office anymore, but in the past we do when we were helping client with the tax filing. But you have to go and reach out. I want to say the IRS could help you. And ask them how to go about getting an ITIN number, and they should be able to assist you with that.
She already has one. She's been doing taxes, but she's starting her business. I invited her to come on, but she didn't come. She didn't jump on. But
using the ITIN number, she should be okay. Instead of the EIN number.
got it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. So if you are in business and you have other specific business license, example, this one here, like an advertiser, alarm company, boxers, beauticians, bedding manufacturer, renovators, retail, all these stuff need different license on top of your business license. Okay, So they'll let you know once I help you apply for the business license, they'll let you know, and I could check the box for you. If you require to have additional business license, especially if you like selling secondhand product, they want to make sure that it's cleared out before you could sell it. That's the item is not stolen, something to that. Okay, this is something I just want to throw in to share with you. These are the types of entity that I just shared with you earlier quickly. Sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, C Corp, S Corp, LLP, and nonprofit, which is 501c3. I saw Fiji sent me, I think there's 1 or 2 nonprofit here,
Yes.
correct? So if you're interested in, you have not filed for your 501c3 and you need help, and if you fall into the category as a low income, I could refer you to somebody to actually get a filing for you for free. All you have to do is paying the you only pay the filing fee, but you don't have to pay the attorney fee. Okay, so keep that in mind. A lot of the clients that I work with just recently, 2 of them that I work with this week, one of them pay LegalZoom to build up an LLC. He wasn't ready. And at the end, he regretted it. He said, I wish I could talk to somebody beforehand. So I learned about it before I jumped the gun. So that's something that you could avoid once you learn about all the resources that you could learn, and then make the right choice moving forward. Okay. So, Fiji, do you have an attorney come and talk about types of entity?
Yes, next
Okay,
week.
perfect. I'm
That's a
going to
topic
skip
next week.
this.
Yes.
I'm going to skip this and I'm going to let your attorney talk about it. Okay, so I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I want to thank everybody here that joined the sessions. I want to thank the Filipino American Chambers of Commerce for inviting me to share the information with all of you. And I hope that you're doing well with your business. Here are my contact information, my email address, and my hours when I assist for one-on-one counseling. You feel free to email me and I could schedule a Zoom meeting to take care of anything you need to take care of without having to come in person. So I want to end a little bit early to see if you have any questions you want me to answer, additions to what I just shared with you.
Swann, there was a question earlier on, and I'm sure a few of us are actually thinking the same thing. How does one go about getting one-on-one time with you? What hoops do we need to jump to meet with you?
So keep in mind that because we're nonprofit, and the client that we meet, we want to justify the time that we spend with the client. So I'll be sending out a request for counseling form. This is my email. If you send me an email, say, Swann, I want to schedule a one-on-one to meet with you, go through applying for a DBA, let's say. And then I'll send you a 641 form and have you give me 2 options of dates and time that you want to meet with me, and want to receive that within a few minutes. Give me 24 hours. I will schedule a one-on-one to meet with you. Okay, either the same week or the following week, depending on how tight my schedule is. And I apologize in advance. Today we have report dues and I have so many tasks that I have to tackle at one time. I apologize that, last minute things is always around the corner. But I'm good. If you feel like what I shared with you earlier is a traditional business plan, but if you don't want to do a traditional business plan, you want to do a simpler business plan, reach out to me. I could share the information with you too as well.
I'll ask for that too, Swann. Your the lean business plan template that you have, so that we can share it with the members too, moving forward.
Okay.
And I think we have a question from Celeste. Celeste, do you want to ask this question?
Sure. I'm trying to ask this in behalf of those who are not really into business yet, but are really wanting to start off. What is your advice to those who are struggling to just kind of figure out what business they should go into? Because there's a lot of options out there and it gets overwhelming. But
Mhm.
they are really motivated to get started to be their own boss. It's just that, what's your
Sure.
advice?
So this is what I tell my client. Don't be afraid to reach out and sit down with a counselor and just pretty much talk to them and see what are your plan. You could plan them out when you want to start your own business. But in terms of what business to pick, is all based on your passions, your desire to make money in the area that your passions in helping. Once you have find that niche that you could help client to do what you could help them with, plus on top of that, you could get money for it. You don't have to work for the rest of your life. It's all about, for me, example, I always know that I want to help people ever since I was in junior high school. And I just don't know what it was. But until I find out what I love to do, which is providing services to hundreds and thousands of clients that I served for my 16 years that I've been here, I feel gratitude. I feel grateful that I could actually provide the services. So reach into your heart and you find out, okay, what do I know? What skills do I have? And look at outside in terms of the competitors, what is out there already. And you're figuring out what is feasible. Let me give you an example. I met with a client, a mom and a daughter, and they want to open a kiosk centers at the mall. And they want to have like a fax machine along with copy machine, and they want to open that business per se, and have someone just in case if they want to make a copy of whatever papers urgently, then they could do that. But think about it sensibly. Everybody have a cell phone now, right? They could take a pictures of it and just send it out. That is only something on a side, extra cash coming in. So that's not feasible. So I could tell you right up front, this is not really something that you want to do because you're not going to make any money from it. And the rent that you're going to pay is way higher than people want to make copy of that, whatever it is you want to make copy and send them in. So be realistic and ask yourself the questions. Would the business that I'm starting, is it unique? Is it serving the people that I have not served before? What are the pain factors out there? What is it that they need help with? A lot of people want you to solve the problem, right? So if you can figure out that and figure out, is this something that I want to do for a long, long period of time and also make money of it, and you love what you're doing, then that is the business you want to start in. I can't tell you, I have client, I kid you not, what should I start in terms of my business? I don't know what you want to start, but the bottom line, ask yourself that question. And then a lot of people comes to me because they have the experience. They work with someone in the past for many, many years, and they don't want to work for anybody else but themselves because they know there's money out there. Look for that, but not something that is a passion, okay? If we don't move for a while, my light just turned off. Does this make sense?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Attorney Linus.
Okay, guys. So if there are not any questions, we are going to go ahead and conclude the speakers portion of this webinar, this specific webinar boot camp. And we all want you to kind of get your screens on, please, and flash those pearly whites so we can take a group photo. Because if we don't have a group photo, it never happened, right? So go ahead and turn on those videos and just give us a smile. And who is taking the picture?
Lois, can you take this?
I can. All right, everyone on? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Lovely.
Yay.
Thank you again, Swann.
Yes, a big
you.
shout out again to Swann over at Pace. I don't know about all of you, but I know I was furiously taking notes down on my Post-its and kind of asking myself questions, you know, like how meaningful is your mission to you, right? She provided us with a lot of thoughtful, insightful things. We are having another series next week on the 31st. I believe it is a Wednesday, and it is the title of that webinar is Legitimizing Your Business. So we touched upon it just a little bit in this meeting where, you know, we'll go into detail about forming business formations and the related topic. So what are we doing next? I'm going to next have Vice President David Baines talk about membership with our illustrious chamber.
I don't think he's on, but
I was like, David?
think
I
he's
know he
just
was on
observing.
earlier.
He might just
Oh,
be observing.
No, no worries. I can talk about it. So
okay.
if you like what you have seen tonight, and you know these resources that we are providing to you, the connections, the community support, we would love to have you guys be part of our chamber, because we are stronger together. And our individual membership is only $150, corporate for $300. We are the largest Southern California Chamber of Commerce for the Filipino American community. So would love to have you. And up next, if you wanted to have some insights on our perks and benefits, feel free to scan this QR code. And I'd like to hand it off to our VP for events for our upcoming webinars and announcements.
Yes, thank you, Lois. Good evening, everyone. Just announcing our upcoming events. We actually have an event in 2 days with COPAC. We will be supporting the Indonesia and Philippines Business After Hours Mega Mixer. That's going to be Thursday, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And then we also have our next entrepreneurship bootcamp series installation, which is on August 31st. It's about legitimizing your business. And then the following week, on the 6th of September, will be a continuation of our bootcamp series, which is Access to Capital Part 1. And then, of course, Part 2 will be the following week. And then our big event on the 12th, September 12th, is our golf tournament. So scan that QR code to see more details. It's going to be at Porter Valley Country Club on Monday, September 12th, and we'll be starting early. And here's a quick video.
Hi there, this is Lois Claver, President of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Los Angeles. We invite everyone to the JG Group of Companies annual golf tournament in partnership with FACC GLA on September 12th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Porter Valley Country Club in Northridge, California. We are raising funds for our selected beneficiaries, St. Vincent Meals on Wheels, the JIR Foundation, and the Chamber's Entrepreneur Empowerment Program. Sign up as a sponsor, bring your colleagues, and play a foursome. For non-players, you are welcome to enjoy networking lunch with live barbecue and award our best players for the day. Get a chance to win amazing raffle prizes and a hole-in-one prize for $50,000. Don't wait. Come join us for a fun day on the green and network with the Filipino American business community. Get your tickets now at faccgla.org. See you there.
Thank you for that wonderful video. So now it's time for our game time. So I hope you guys all paid attention, paid close attention to our material for tonight. because I will be drawing the answer from that presentation. So can you show the slide, please?
1 second, Nico.
No problem.
You can talk about the prize.
Yes, so for the prize, in the spirit of empowering my fellow entrepreneurs and small business owners, my website building company, actually tycoonlands.com, is triviaing away a free business landing page, so your company can have its very own home on the web. Thanks, Fiji. We'll just get it on full screen.
I can share screen of Fiji. Oh, there you go.
There we go. Cool. Next slide, please. So just a little bit about my company. We specialize in building websites, developing apps, graphics design, organizing events, and social media management. So on the lower left corner, you can scan that QR code to get more information. And on the right side are more QR codes leading to some examples of our projects that we've done for chamber members and the chamber itself. However, on this next slide coming up, we're actually rolling out one of our biggest projects for the chamber across the entire US. This is the Kofac Bridge, the app to bridge the gap. That's right, we are bridging together and connecting our over 6,100 plus members nationwide across 28 and counting partner organizations. It's a free mobile app that you can easily add to your phone by scanning that QR code. No app store or installation needed. So please go ahead and scan that QR code on the screen. And now for our trivia question. And you have to get both of these right.
Go back to the code. I'm
Oh,
sorry. You guys went too fast.
sorry about that.
That's okay. All right, thank you.
Hey, no problem. Okay, cool. So for this one, you have to get both of these right. I'll be asking 2 acronyms and you'll type it in the chat section. So what do the acronyms DBA and EIN stand for?
Type fast.
Type fast. It's a lot of words.
So where can you go, like a workshop that has games at the end? Only with FACCGLA.
Hey. I feel like we
Well,
should
that's
have the Jeopardy song on. Do, 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 do.
Well, that's got it.
There's a winner,
got it.
Nico.
We have a
Yeah.
winner. Yeah, even before the song came on.
That means she was smart already.
Yep. Congratulations, Celeste.
Hey.
Donating the prize to Catherine Thomas, please.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, Catherine.
Good one.
Because I have a lot of landing pages.
Good
Can build an airport.
Good assist. Perfect. So I'll connect with you, Catherine. Thank you. And back to Linus.
Okay, so I just want to thank everyone again for taking the time out of your day to join us for this boot camp. Your feedback absolutely matters. I think we are going to be sending each and every one of you a questionnaire via email, and it is so imperative that you send that back to us. I'm going to actually give it back to Lois to talk about the executive officers of this fabulous chamber.
Okay, well, thank you, Linus, for being an amazing MC. Thank you, Swann, again, for showing how amazing PACE is, such a great organization. And that's one of the things, you know, we did here at the chamber is create these partnerships and make connection, bring all of these amazing resources to our members and also to our community, because together we uplift each other. Thank you to the programs committee and events committee Fiji Victoriano and Miko Palon for spearheading this Entrepreneur Bootcamp, and also with the support of the Marketing Committee, Celeste Mondarin. And I'd like to thank our executive officers, as you can see here on the screen, and also our board members who are working very hard to deliver all of these amazing resources to you guys. And next is, again, see you at our next workshop. We need 2/3 for you to get a certificate. That's like 9 workshops. And please keep in touch with us, scan this QR code, and join as a member of our chamber. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening. And we'll see you next week,
Everyone.
Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Next
thank
week.
you to my own Eva for these amazing slides.